Love music, love life. Smooth 98.1. It is 32 minutes past 7 a.m. It is a Wednesday morning. Yes, the hump of the week Wednesday. You're tuned into the Smooth Breakfast. Ayokunmi here. And it's about that time to take a look at the stories in the papers. Freshly pressed is where we are at this point in time. Welcome along to another interactive session. And it's all about getting a look at the stories, the big headlines, getting your thoughts, getting your perspective after getting analysis. That is talking about analysis this morning, joining me on a Wednesday as they usually do. Two absolutely awesome gentlemen in the persons of Lakunle Yusuf and Devoe Okorie as well. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Lakunle, how are you doing today?
Good morning everywhere. And it's time to think about our service people in uniform.
Mm, yes, indeed. We're going to get to that very, very soon. Devoe, good morning to you.
Morning world, morning Lagos. AY Lakunle, cool power, so bad, in states.
Hmm. The drama is dramatic as per the usual. Once again, we'll jump into that as well. But before we do, just to let you know how you can join us on the show. Yes, the WhatsApp platform is back on track if you weren't listening yesterday, just to let you know. And for everyone else, it's a new number. So you need to take it down and save it as well. It's 0911 999 Let me take that again. 0911 999 0981. So you can replace the previous number with this one. This is the number going forward. And you can also find us on YouTube streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can leave your comments over there as well. All right, let us get into the nitty gritty of the conversation. And we shall begin in the Punch newspaper talking about what Devoe referenced earlier, power. And that is where we're starting here. Now, state governments have accused the federal government of attempting to reverse the gains of the power sector decentralization, warning that proposed amendments to the Electricity Act could erode their newly granted autonomy and undermine Nigeria's electricity reform trajectory. Devoe, let me let you get into this one. Interesting things coming out of the power sector here.
Yes, funny enough, this story is not fully developed yet. And why I say so is because um, the word restructuring, anytime we start to restructure, you begin to see reforms. Reforms means there are new policies, new ways of doing things. Obviously, generally, the reforms are meant to be in the interest of the people, but some
True.
people will move for status quo, meaning they want things to remain the way they are. Um, for example, I must say that we had been fixing four refineries for donkey years. It was not making it better, and it was ballooning the subsidy. However, an individual called Dangote invested his funding under the PIA, and right now you see marketers against him. Now, this brings us to this story, which has to do with the Electricity Act, which was part of the reforms that took place. And even in the Buhari administration, they said that state governments could create their own commissions, that they can become their own regulators
Yeah.
of their own power systems, which was supposed to decentralize administration. So it will affect generation, it will affect distribution, as well as the transmission. Now, what has happened is Enugu State, looking at the calculation, or let's call it price management of 209 naira per kilowatt, which is what we pay in Band A
Yeah.
nationwide. Okay, they've looked at the fact that if the generation comes to them at a certain amount, if there's an amount that the federal government is paying as subsidy, they've taken that component to say that they don't actually have to pay that much, and that Enugu people should pay 160 naira per kilowatts, which the disco has kicked against, and other discos, by saying that if every state commission takes this path, it will lead to them losing money. Well, some experts have argued that there's no loss and that it's only Enugu that's taking this path because just like with how do you call it? petrol distribution in those days, when you add the transportation components, people who get petrol in Lagos and those who get petrol in Kano should not be paying the same price. Now, all I'm trying to explain here is, at the end of the day, all these issues around um, um, the price that electricity gets to us should be liberalized, okay? Which is what
Right.
the Electricity Act brings. And if the discos or those who are against it, if they were making a premium, yes, we know they're being owed legacy debts, but at the end of the day, some of these things should be made transparent. And the last point I want to say is that Enugu State Regulatory Commission asked the discos to come forward for a conversation so that each side can state their own view as to why they were able to bring the price down. Okay? So the state ideally should only work in the interest of its own people. So we will not tolerate cowboys, those who have been making a killing on pricing. You know how long it took for the telcos to get into agreement with NEC to be able to increase tariffs by 50% simply because of all the other factors of devaluation, importation, etc. So all I'm saying is the objective is to ensure that we have reliable power at state level. These conversations between the operators, and I'm not trying to speak against them because I know they've invested plenty, but there should
Mm.
be a balance between the amounts we've invested and what the regulation will allow to enable Nigerian citizens not suffer the burden of paying back what you have invested, given the challenge states of the economy. There's meant to be a balance
Right.
in it. When
All
that
right.
balance is struck, I think both the citizen will be happy and the investor likewise.
Mm. Well, I mean, it is interesting the back and forth that is going on, and the fact that you reference the telcos as well. We saw how that went before that 50% increase actually came to be. It was quite, should I say, the battle of wills there. But this is one situation that clearly needs a resolution because the issues in the power sector have raged on for far too long. We can't still be here at this point arguing over, this person is sabotaging, this person is not. We need results at the end of the day. And that is the truth of the matter. All right, let us, excuse me, let's keep the good times rolling here, Lakunle. Let us step into, let me see here. Let us step into the Daily Trust and talk about the good men of our police force, where the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says the poor state of retirees, particularly those under the contributory pension scheme, is affecting the morale of serving officers. Now, according to him, there's a growing and deep-rooted anxiety among serving officers born from the belief, rightly or wrongly, that retirement is a descent into hardship. Now, I don't know why exactly the IGP is telling us this. I mean, he is the IGP for a reason. These are issues that he should be very well aware about. And it doesn't take a soothsayer or someone who has a crystal ball to realize and understand that those who are currently serving will look at those who are retired and how they are treated and think of that as a mirror of what is to come in the future. Lakunle.
Okay, so the IGP, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, PhD, FM, NI, and the rest of the titles that comes with his name, didn't specifically say exactly how this contributory pension scheme is affecting the morale of the officers in this report. Having said that, don't let us forget that the contributory pension scheme was an idea that came to life in 2005, I think July or August 2005, whereby you're supposed to contribute 8%. The employee is supposed to contribute 8% of his salary, annual basic transport and housing salary elements of their salaries, and the employer has a 10%. I think for the service people, the uniform people, I think the government bears it 100%. I think it's 20% of basic housing transport. I'm not sure. I think so. So imagine that a police officer who earns maybe 40,000 naira a month. So let's assume 400,000 naira is the element of those three things. Now you
Okay.
pay 20% of that. monthly. That comes to about, I think, 40,000 naira monthly. And then you do that for 35 years. Let's assume on the same salary, on the same position for those 35 years. So I'm assuming then that there should be some form of enough money somewhere that the person will go away with at the end of the day. That was supposed to be the idea, rather than the government bearing the pension money 100% at the for everybody, right? So, but the problem is even deeper than that. The other day, we saw some people go to the police headquarters to go and protest about the monies they got. Yeah. Are we saying that is all of the contributory pension that they had put together? Somebody was not, even though that was like 20 years ago. So if you've been on the same position for 20 years, and let's even assume it is 20,000 naira, your contributory pension is for 20 years, how much should that be in a year? It should be more than 1 million naira, right? One man was quoted to say that what he got was 1 million naira. So I want to imagine then that two things. One, our law enforcement are poorly paid. That's why their pension don't amount to anything at the time they are retiring. Two, the police pension is a closed pension, meaning that it is only the police, it is also run by the police itself. I think with 20 years experience, one of the things we should then do is, even though it's a closed pension, we should take the management of that pension pot or bag away from the police management to improve the transparency of it, right? We've had, that's my opinion about it. And I think that we should explore those things, because we cannot have policemen who in service don't have insurance, don't have living quarters,
don't have all the basic things.
All those basic things, they don't have it now. And you expect them to be diligent in what they do. They will go rogue. Anybody who offers them more money, they will do the bidding of that person. Not to talk of when they now retire after 35 years. So that means the person is 60, he's not able to do anything, or is not able to do the things he should have been able to do when he's 20, 30, 40. So we need to look at this thing. The whole matter of Nigerian police, we have a Ministry of Police, we have a Police Service Commission, we have the IGP, we have all of these things. Between these three institutions, they should be able to find a solution to this, such that, are we recruiting more policemen? Are we improving their salaries? Are we ensuring them? What all those things are we giving them to make life as in service good and in retirement better? These things are not rocket science. We need to make a pension more transparent for the officers.
I actually agree with you fully on that one, Lakunle. And it's interesting you talk about the issues surrounding recruiting new officers and all that. Yes, we know that we're severely under police in the country, but I mean, after all you said, clearly things need to be put, certain things need to be put into place before anyone would even consider joining the police force at this point. Bearing in mind what exactly is happening. I mean, for those who are currently serving, for those who have retired, it is such an unattractive prospect for a number of people. But like you said, a number of things need to happen if we're going to be able to sanitize that particular field and get more policemen in, because of the issues we have.
Quickly, Ayo. Now, there is a bill in the National Assembly seeking to exempt the police from the scheme. I don't think that's a solution. I think the solution is how to improve the transparency around how the closed pension of the police is being run today, and to increase their salary so that what they can keep away for pension can be more at the end of the day. I mean, I hope the National Assembly will do the right thing and not agree to this exemption request of the police from the pension, from the scheme.
All right. Let me take a message or two here before I come back to you, Devoe. This is Olatunde, who is in Ebute Meta. He says, on state regulation of the discos, the issue is such that the state has the power to regulate discos within each state right from time. Why should it now be creating conflict? It's so unfortunate. Ajayi Olunlua says, it's obvious that the federal government's stranglehold on the power sector is responsible for the continuous epileptic electricity supply. Since the state governments have been given approval to generate and distribute electricity to their people, the federal government should simply hands off and let the states do their work to provide power at affordable cost to the people. All right, thank you for the messages. Keep them coming in on WhatsApp. Once again, if you are just tuning in and you don't know, the WhatsApp number is 0911-999-0981. Also join us on YouTube. We're streaming at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. All right. Let's talk about another sector that has been having a lot of problems, and that is the health sector, specifically doctors who have decided to down tools. Stepping into the Guardian here, medical services in several government hospitals across Lagos were severely disrupted on Monday and Tuesday due to a 3-day warning strike by members of the Medical Guild over alleged unilateral salary reductions and other unresolved grievances. Now, a visit to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, that's LASUT in Ikeja, on Tuesday morning revealed an unusually deserted scene. The usually busy environment was replaced by silence, with only a few individuals seen within the premises. And this was the same story in other medical facilities within the state that have been affected by this. Once again, Devoe, for the umpteenth time, we're talking about doctors going on strike for one reason or another. When does this all end?
Yeah, this story also is not complete. It just gives an update and on the fallout. So, as you know, the medical doctors of the state associations, the state facilities went on a 3-day warning strike from Monday, and I think it will end today. So there was a shutdown at LASUT, only emergency services, a few were being catered to. There was a shutdown at the Bagada General Hospital. There was also a shutdown at the Solo General Hospital, and then Randall General Hospital. These are all Lagos state institutions. FMC, Ebuta Meta, that's the Federal Medical Center, saw an upsurge simply because many people who couldn't get attended to in the state hospitals went to the federal hospital. Now, the truth is this, with a budget of about 2.8 trillion, that's nearly 3 trillion, 10 times larger than half of the states in Nigeria. Come on, Lagos State. How can your own doctors be having issues? This is a real slap. A real slap. And I want to flog the Lagos State government a bit. If you're going to be, let me speak a bit of American. If you're gonna be the big black nation, if you're gonna be the big black brother, if you want to pose and get everybody here in Dirty December, and not just Dirty December, people should be coming all year round. You need to take care of your basics. I've said it that Lagos is the most poorly run state in Nigeria. Why do I say this? It's not because they're not making money. I'm saying this because their capacity is far more than every other person. You cannot be, the truth is, when they say which is the best state, you can't be comparing Lagos to Abia, comparing Lagos to Sokoto and what do you call it, Bauchi. This is shameful. I expect Lagos state hospitals and institutions to be dealt with. I want to hear not just the Commissioner of Health, I want to hear the Commissioner of Finance. What is going on? What is going on for your doctors to down tools? I mean, come on. Why do we do this to ourselves? What can't be resolved? We're here throwing parties every day. We're here launching and etc. We can't even take care of the basics. Obasa, where are you? You're the State Assembly Speaker. You should be speaking on behalf of Lagos State citizens and workers. What is happening? Why are we not hearing noise regarding how come doctors have not been paid? Why are these deductions, etc.? You Lagos State, these are things that should have passed the level of Lagos. Lagos should never, ever, ever, ever have to have its doctors down tools just to get an issue resolved. Shame on Lagos State. Shame on Lagos State. That's all I have to say.
It is quite a sad situation that we find ourselves in at this point in time.
At one moment, Ayo, I just wanted to raise an exception to Devoe's comments. Lagos is not the most poorly run state in Nigeria. There are states that are worse. It is just that our expectations of Lagos, based on what we know Lagos is capable of, is high. and the output.
Lakunle, why is it
So
expectations?
far.
Lagos State has a history of infrastructure, manpower, and training.
I agree
It's not
with you.
expectation. It is on
I
ground.
agree
It
with
is
you.
installed capacity. Lagos
I
should
agree
be
with you.
doing
That's
far
what I'm
better.
saying. That's what I'm saying, that the expectation is high based on what we know is possible, but the output compared to that expectation is low. But despite that, it
Lakunle,
is still not the most poorly run state in
is it not
Nigeria.
what we know is possible or what we know is available?
Both of the above, or you can choose any of the above. It still suggests to all of us that, yes, like Yoruba people will say that your best is not good enough. The governor or whoever may come out and say we are doing our best right now, but the point we should make is that their best is not good enough based on the indices and the statistics that they throw at us every day, right? And that's where we need to hang it. Their best is not good enough. They can do better, but they are not the most.
Lakunle, I am not going to be kind to Lagos State.
We can disagree
like
to
I
agree,
said,
but
the
we need to
budget is
move
nearly
on
3 trillion.
right now. Devoe,
yes,
Devoe, we can disagree to agree on this issue, but we need to move it on. We can disagree to agree.
Let's go on.
Both points valid, but we can't keep dragging the particular issue. We need to keep the ball moving because of time. Who's talking to us here on WhatsApp? There's a message here that's okay. Ade in Lagos says, with the $100,000 to be given to each Falcon players for winning the WAFCON, what about our doctors that will go on strike on Wednesday? They've been on strike since Monday. Are they police pensioners, army, ASU teachers, and other professionals? What has been done to them? In insane countries, these are the highest paid in the world because they save lives and impact and value the lives of citizens. They make an economy productive and they make society very literate. Unlike those who are in government, looting billions, compromising institutions for election gains, turning the people to beggars in the midst of plenty. It's a shame that the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. All right, Adi, thank you for your message.
It's our fault that the worst are ruling the best. Why are the best keeping quiet? If the person that wrote that is one of those best people, he should step forward and tell us why we should put him in government. It's not enough for us to complain about these things, right? We've seen in quotes the best people who have got there and have even done worse than the worst people.
All right, Lakunle, let's step into the Guardian and talk about what's been going on between Ghana, Nigeria, and so on and so forth. Now, some Ghanaians have protested against Nigerians for allegedly engaging in mass prostitution and ritual killings in their country. Now, there's a video yesterday where the protesters in very large numbers were seen wielding placards with various inscriptions, such as armed robbery and violent attacks must stop, and so on. Now, basically, what's been going on there, they're protesting and saying Nigerians must go because you can't be in someone's country and be doing things anyhow, that Nigerians must actually leave. Now, reacting to this development, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM chairman, Abike W. Irawa, yesterday condemned the generalization of Nigerians as criminals, describing it as unfair and dangerous. Lakunle, I mean, these issues concerning other countries protesting against Nigerians to leave and so on, we've seen this in South Africa as well at different times. What does this say about, Nigeria, our image, and where we are right now in the world?
So let me first compliment Nigerians. We are one of the smartest group of people in the world, and that's why it stops, right? But our smartness and the energy behind that smartness, a significant number of us channel it into loudness and gaming every system. You've mentioned South Africa. There's an issue going on in Kenya already today that's already brewing. There is Tanzania. There is UAE that they suspended visas to Nigeria for a long time. I'm not sure the ban has been lifted right now. Then you see even our younger people who had never seen an airport before, but because Providence throw in their way an opportunity to go abroad, immediately they get there, they become travel experts. How to, and then you see all of them on YouTube making noise. And the noise they are making, the advice they are giving people, when you critique it, you notice that much of the advices they give are how to game the system of the environment where they find themselves. So when you put all of this together, the people who do this, they are in the minority, yes. But guess what? Remember what Lagbaja said, that the empty barrel makes the loudest noise, right? So, and when the noise is loudest, it is assumed that that is what everybody is. And that's where the problem is. And that's now where we need our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our embassies and high commissions abroad to, apart from Nigerians coming in, we have a register of all Nigerians in every country, know what they do, at least have an idea of where they live. If there's something that is not going right, we should be the first to get there. I mean, Ghana now has now joined. Now, imagine the number of Nigerians that have lived in Ghana for years. These few people are doing whatever it is that they claim that they are doing in this alleged killing and whatever. As if it is true, then there's a reason for those ones who are not participating in it to help government to identify the ones who are doing this thing so that they can be prosecuted. It's not enough to just keep quiet and go and hide. We must be bold enough to say, Yoruba people say that if your child is going to bring a snake that will strangle you and swallow in your house, chase the child for the tiger to eat. It's a survival thing. Because at the end of the day, these few people will spoil what the many good people have built over years. Imagine that, okay, so imagine that people in Cote d'Ivoire say Nigerians should go. People in Ghana say Nigerians should go. People in Dubai say Nigerians should go. In South Africa say Nigerians should go. So where are we ever going to go to and be comfortable because of the activities of these people? And then we need the help of our National Orientation Agency. We need the help of parents to help us grind the ethos of Omoluabi in their children, in their fathers, in their mothers, in their everybody, so that when they go out there, they do not misbehave.
And that is very important because it's a worrying trend when you have multiple different nations, saying, "Oh, Nigeria must go from here, Nigeria must go from there." It just doesn't sit well. And of course, like you said, Lakunle, there, a couple of unscrupulous elements who are making those who are in those countries, who are there genuinely, who are law-abiding, makes them look bad as well. So definitely, a lot more needs to be done from the perspective of the government anyway. Everybody, foreign affairs, everybody needs to be involved in this and not take this with any levity whatsoever. Let me see if I can squeeze in Devoe very, very, very quickly because we're out of time, but I just need you to say a few words about the story in the Vanguard and the NSA Ribadu, now who has said that incidents of Boko Haram attacks, banditry, and communal violence in Nigeria's northern region have significantly reduced under this current administration compared to the previous government. In a few words, Devoe, please just touch on this one.
Okay. In a few words, Nuhu Ribadu NSA should go and pack well. He's been playing politics with security. Yes, he's been playing politics with security. And I don't expect a whole NSA. If you know what an NSA is, you have the whole security architecture under you. You can't be playing politics. He should know his security 101. But he's been doing that. Of course, there are a few places that violence has been brought down, e.g., Kaduna. We give praise and kudos to the governor, Ubasani, for not playing politics with the lives of citizens like the past governor did. But outside Kaduna, there's so many other areas that insecurity has, shot through the roof. So all I'm saying is, Nuhu Ribadu, I beg you, pack well, stop playing politics, do your job. End of story.
I thought Devoe was going to say that he should warm up or something like that, but I guess Packwell is actually fair enough. Anyways, we need to wrap it up this morning. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me as you always do. Just share a few words of inspiration as we end the month of July and walk into August. Lakunle.
Wow, Ayo, 7 months. Which day were we saying Happy New Year to each other? 7 months is gone. And so people, there's so much information about the government out there that we need to find, read up, understand them, ask questions and understand the implications to us. were too laid back, and that's why we complain that the governors, the people leading us ride roughshod over us. So let's commit to the next 5 months of this year to be more involved in how our dear country is administered.
All right, thank you, Lakunle. Devoe.
Okay. On behalf of Lagos State government, pay your tax and you will get social services the way you want it. Pay your tax, don't forget.
Thank you for the PS. Thanks for the PSA, Devoe. All right, we need to wrap it up on Freshly Pressed this Wednesday morning. It's been a pleasure as always. Tomorrow morning at 7:30, we'll be back again talking about what's going on in the news. But for now, the Smooth Breakfast is definitely kicking on. 8:15, it's all about the great world of sports in the locker room.